Okay, got it. Well, they get one more. We got 14 now. Get one more. We can start.
15. Beautiful number.
We just did one more. People. Okay, here we go. We got 15. Okay, so thanks for Sophia to create this event for the Zoom meeting. My name is Nico Nguyen, and I will present to you today how to become a private money lender. Okay. Okay, let's start it. Okay, and once again, thanks for everyone come to this Zoom meeting today. I know this is Labor Day. It's called Labor of Love. So thanks for you guys showing up, and you know, we can learn and share the experience. Okay. So first thing first, I have some disclaimer. Okay. I'm not a CPA attorney or financial advisor. This content material and video should not be used as tax, legal, investment, or financial advice. You should always conduct your own due diligence and research before making any investment, tax, or legal decision. All right, let's get the legal thing out of the way. Who am I? My name again, Nico Nguyen. I currently live and work in San Diego, California. It's close to the Mexico border. We're not close, but 30 minutes. So I have been a notes investor and real estate investor for the last 13 years, going to be 14th. And my main investment is I specialize in second non-performing note or mortgage. And I also buy and hold property for long-term rental, short-term and mid-term rental. And for the last 2 years, I've been doing a rental arbitrage, meaning that I master lease and sublease the property and do short-term rental, mid-term and long-term rental. And I also a private money lenders. I lend my own money, and right now I focus the deal coming in. And I also a tax lien, a tax deed investor, and I also a licensed realtor in California. And I call myself as transactional engineering, meaning I can put the deal together and follow the paperwork. Okay, so have anyone heard about Harmony Lender or private money lender? If you know about this, can in the chat.
Nó
can...
hả? Ông đang nói đó.
Có nhiêu mở lớn nha. Mở cái hình lớn nữa.
Mình đâu có mở lớn tại mình muốn.
I think you can mute it, Sophia. Okay, so what is the difference between Harmony Lender and private money lender?
I think Harmony is I think Harmony is like tough, like cho vay nặng lãi.
Yes, but from my point of view, the Harmony Lender usually they lend on the first lien only. Okay, so for private money lender, you can do on the second, the first, the second, or the third. But normally the Harmony Lender only lend on the first lien. Okay. Okay. So the question is why people use private money lender. First of all, if very quickly, so if you qualify, we can close within 3 to 5 days. Okay, versus like traditional lending is take you about a month. Okay, and this one no credit check. Okay, with traditional funding, you have to use your credit at the collateral, and you have to meet specific credit criteria to qualify for the loan. Sophia, can you mute everyone? And for the private money lender, it's very flexible. Okay, as a private lender, you can be created with a lending terms, and most of the terms are negotiable between the two parties. And this is if you really do private money lender, the truth is asset-based lending. So what it means is you collateralize the real property. Okay, so some Harmony lenders still require full FICO score, you know, and check your credit, this and that. So it's not a truly asset-based lending, right? And of course, with all the benefit, you have to pay a high interest rate, right? So it's a balance, right? So you have a quick liquidity, you can pull the money out, then you have to pay a higher interest, okay? So what are steps for the prime money lending? Okay, so how many here been bought a house before? Can you put in the chat? Can you type number 2? It's interactively, guy. Okay, so if you're on the phone, probably not. Okay, so Nhân, okay, 2. So you bought. So okay, Sophia. All right, good. So congratulations, you all know half of the process of how to become the prime money lender. Because when you buy a house, you are a borrower, right? And the lender, the bank or the lender is a lender to lend you the money, okay? And you sign the 2 main document is first is promissory notes, okay? The promissory note is just a promise to pay, right? So it will, okay, how much you borrow, what percentage interest, and how much monthly payment, and late fee and late payment, and so forth, so forth. And the deed of trust or called a mortgage, okay? So when you do a private money lending, the portion is switched. Now you become a lender, and the paperwork and the process is almost the same, right? Does that make sense? So does everyone have a question? Or you can unmute and you can talk, okay? If not, I get moving. So as a private money lender, like I mentioned before, the harmony lender only lends on the first lien, okay? As the private money lender, you can do first or second. So the first lien is very simple, very safe, because you are on the title. So let's say that you know with the bank, if you put out 20%, they will lend you the other 80%. Okay, for private money lender. Usually I require the borrower put out 30%. I lend on the other 70%. Okay. So the interest rate right now is about 10 to 12% and 2 or 3 points. So the point, let's say you borrow $100,000, 1 point is $1,000. Okay. Or that's at the percentage of the loan you borrow. Okay. And like I said, the term are negotiable. Okay. Either you can do 1 year, 2 year, 5 year. It's up to the 2 parties. And the borrower pay for all the fee. Okay. So it's not traditional lending. Like, you know, the buyer pay half, the seller pay half, okay? In the private money lending, the borrower pay for everything. Okay, the second lien is a little bit riskier, meaning that you have a higher interest, and also that you need to know what the heck you're doing, okay? So for example, for us, or for me, we only lend on the 50% of the equity, or equivalent about 70 to 75% loan to value, combined loan to value. So the interest rate is about 16 to 18%, the same 2 or 3 points, okay, of the loan amount. The term, again, the negotiable, and the borrower pay for all the fee. So let's say, for example, for the second lien, if the house was about $1 million, okay, the first mortgage is about 500, so they have about 500,000 equity. So I can lend maximum of 250K or 50% of the equity, or equivalent to 75% loan to value. Okay. Again, the borrower pay for all the fee, right? As a lender, you don't pay.
And Nico, I have a question. So
okay.
for the harmony lending, they should lend the first lien position because they want to be secure. They want to be the
Yes.
first to get paid, right?
Yes. So like I said, the first is very secure because you acted on the title and the borrower is not in some cases, okay? So it's very safe, right? But the problem is, no, it's not a problem, but depend on where you want to lend the money. For example, in California, the average, I don't know, not average, but it's about $1 million. Even the buyer put out 50%.
Sao cho lấy cho không được?
$500,000. You still have, if you want to land it, you have to have at least $500,000, right? So it's kind of tough for people starting now to land on the first lien. Okay, you can group like 2 people together to do that. But I just show you, okay, first the first lien is very safe, which is like you get 10% to 12%. The second is a little bit riskier. And again, you need to know what you're doing. You can get up to 16 or 18%. Okay.
Yep. So the risk is riskier, but seem like you get rewarded because you get a better interest rate.
Yes.
Right. And maybe the terms is also shorter because when you're in a first lien position, maybe they have to refinance in order to pay you. But if you are on a second lien, like a smaller amount, it's easier for them to pay you in a short amount of time or something.
Yes. See, the thing is, why they need to borrow the first lien? Because usually it's for like people with 1099, people do now, so they have money, but they don't have enough money to pay all cash, right?
Yes.
And now they have, let's say they can buy a house for $500,000. They can put out 50%, which is $250,000, but they need to borrow the other 250 because they don't get me wrong. Hey, they might receive cash for their work. So on the tax, they don't show a lot of income, so they cannot qualify, right? So that's a trade-off. You 1099, you receive cash and it not show up on your tax record, and the lender say, hey, you don't make much money, I cannot lend it to you. So that way they turn around to you, private mortgage lender or harmony lender, to borrow the other 50%. And again, because the interest will be high, but high is the relative right now, because if you qualify with the interest for 30 years right now, about 6.25 or 6.5, depending on what day and when you lock it. Okay. So even you charge 10% is not far-fetched. Okay. Again, because the benefit of the private money lender is we can fund within 5 days, and you don't need to have a FICO score or W-2 to qualify for it. Okay.
Yep. And we have a few questions in the audience. Ngân Dao asks, will the private lender issue the 1098 form at the end of the year to the borrower?
Well, you could do that. Okay. So if the borrower asking for, they send you W-9 and at the end of the day, you have to send them 1099 interest, because the interest they pay you. Okay.
Yeah. So, and Victoria Farm asks, do you have any preference on which kind of lien you want to do?
Oh, for me, I only do the second lien because I know how to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's the individual references. Okay. So.
And he asked, can you get on the title with the second lien position?
No, no, you don't. You can get on. So basically, you have a deed of trust. So basically, when you lending, you have two things. The promissory note, okay? Then you have a deed of trust. Yeah, you record that deed of trust against the property, okay? So meaning that, I can talk more, but since you asked, so basically that when you're recording the deed of trust for 50,000, for example, you lend it to them. So meaning that you cloud the title. So from that point on, the borrower cannot, okay, refinance or sell the house behind your back, because no lender will funding without a clear title. Does that make sense? Because when you're recording the deed of trust, you cloud the title per se, right? So that's the trick. I will touch base on that. Okay, I think we good right now. Let's move on to the next one. So, okay, if you want to become a private mortgage lender, what you need to know. So basically that you need to know the paperwork process and do it correctly. Okay, that's the key word, correctly. So this is more pretend to a second lien, because you have to know how to pull a title or talk to the realtor license to pull, or escrow title to pull for you, because you need to check the borrower name and collateral address to make sure that their name and their address correctly. For another thing, if husband and wife are on the title, both of them, okay, both of them need to sign the paperwork, okay? Because the husband cannot go alone, borrow money, because the wife later on, they can file the fortune. Hey, I own a title, I didn't sign for the second lien, borrow from my husband. So now you create a problem, okay, legally. So whoever on the title at that time, they need to sign the document, okay? Now for the second lien, it's more important that you ask for the latest mortgage statement, because you need to know what is the unpaid principal balance on the first is. So again, so let's say if the unpaid principal balance is 500 and the house worth about $1 million, now you can figure out, okay, how much the equity you have, and also look for the interest rates and the monthly payment. And this is kind of building an exit strategy for you. I can touch on it later why, okay? And make sure the property taxes pay. And if they don't pay, it's no big deal. When you're lending the money, you tell the escrow and title, hey, they need to pay the property tax via the fund that they receive. Okay, so make sure that they pay. And in your contract, your property should know. Okay, you put the property tax, the HOA can be late than 30 days. You know, that's subject to forfeit them, so they can you can call the loan due. Okay. And also they need to pull the property compatible, so to make sure that, you know, what is the market value. You can use zero reference and to take the lowest price, okay, not the highest price, the lowest price, to figure out how much the equity have, and to do 50% of that, okay? And always you escrow a title, just like when you buy a property, okay? Always you escrow a title, because you got what? The borrower pay for it. And escrow title to a third party, they protect both sides, okay, the borrower and the lender. Okay, and always why the fund to escrow title, don't write directly. And always buy title insurance, okay? And to go extra, add your name at additional insurer for the home, just in case the home burned down, okay? Unless they notify you that the house burned down, so at least you get some money. Okay, and be persistent and tenacity. Any questions so far? Well, we got 34. If not, I'm moving on. Okay, so okay, yeah. So when the borrower don't pay, right? Well, you might go 411, or you're just joking. Well, so if they don't pay, then you might call the borrower and find out why they have not paid, okay? Everyone deserves a second chance, right? And try to create a workout on a new term with them and create a win-win solution, right? But you need to be fair but firm, okay? Give them a second chance, but not a third chance, okay? If not, and if you do a paperwork correctly, that means the property should know the deed of trust, then you can start a foreclosure. Okay, as a private money lender, you could foreclose if the borrower is 30 days late. For the traditional financial, you're not late until 90 days later. Okay, so that's a different. And I can touch base for California, we call non-judicial foreclosure, meaning it take about 6 months to complete. Okay, but for a state that judicial foreclosure like Florida, New York, New Jersey, and some other state, judicial foreclosure meaning that you have to sue the borrower. And when you go through the court, it takes longer, about 2 to 3 years or longer. So that's the thing, you need to know the law of each of the state, okay? And normally that the US, very interesting, everything have two sides of it, okay? So foreclosure, they have non-judicial foreclosure and foreclosure. And the easier the way, if a D state changes that, is a non-judicial foreclosure. If a mortgage state, that means it's a judicial foreclosure. Texas is a non-judicial foreclosure. And oh, by the way, Texas foreclosure very quick. It's about 45 days. So if you learn on the second lien, you need to monitoring the first lien, okay? Because they can wipe you out in 45 days. Okay, so when you foreclosure, there are two outcomes. Okay, either first the borrower pay off all the costs, meaning the principal, the late payment, and late fee, the foreclosure fee, and everything. Yeah, everything you foreclose with, they will pay for it. Or the second outcome is yes, you own the property. For the second lien, you own the property, goes subject to. Okay, everyone familiar with what subject to is? I know Sophia is. There's a few. So subject to means subject to an existing first mortgage, because there is the underlying first mortgage there. Now you take a subject to, meaning that you own it because you have the deed of trust under your name, but the original loan is still with the borrower. Okay, so that makes sense. A little bit confusing here. So there are two documents. Okay, so when you buy the house, you sign a promissory note and the deed of trust. When you foreclose the house, you take over the deed of trust, which is security instrument, but the promissory note is still have the old borrower or the owner name. That makes sense? From that point on, you continue to pay. Just like, you know, just like you own the property, actually you own the property. Okay, that makes sense? We have some here. Is Georgia non-judicial? Hold on, Viho. Let me look. Okay, I got Georgia. Let's see.
You're gonna ask ChatGPT?
No, I have a list here. Oh, Georgia is non-judicial. It's very easy, guys. You do Google. Okay, Google. Okay, what state is non-judicial, and it will give you a list. And right now, it's the judicial state, foreclosure state about 50-50 or more or less. Okay. But to make sure that you know what state is, because when you're lending money and it's happened to judicial state, it take longer, like a couple of years.
So, Nico, Victoria Farm asked, can there be a situation where you assume the property after the borrower default, but the property value went down from the time you originated the loan, so you may get less than what you expected?
Yeah, see, that's Victoria, that's might happen. So that's the reason why when you do the first lien, you ask them to put out 30%. So now, God forbid, if the property dropped more than 30%, and well, you know, then we have a bigger issue, right? Just like when you land on a second lien, you only land 50% of the equity. Okay. But again, so another thing I'm going back is here. Okay, hold on. Okay, so in here, I asking you when you look at the mortgage statement to look for the interest rate and the monthly payment, because this one you kind of figure, you kind of do your own due diligence right here, and you find your exit strategy here. So the worst case, just like, okay, you foreclose it, okay, you know that let's say this house, the monthly payment about $1,500, okay, the interest rate top about 3.5%. And the rent for that is about, you know, $2,700. Okay, your market about $1,500, PI plus TI, let's say 2,000. You rent for 2,200 or 2,000. And the worst case, okay, they probably going down, but you take over, and now this becomes your rental. Okay, and eventually they probably go back up again, right? So when you do your own due diligence on the property, make sure that you look at this and figure out, okay, what's worst case scenario, the borrower don't pay, right? First you foreclose on it and you take over, you can sell it quick, you can do a lipstick on it and flip it and sell it, or you can, oh, you know, I got to spread about $5 a month, and we'll keep it as a rental. That makes sense? So when you do it, when you investment, you need to know how to get in and know how to get out. Okay, if you don't know how to get out, don't get in. Right? In this case, you lending the money. The worst case scenario is the borrower don't pay. Then what you go to do next? And most of people don't know how to foreclose on the property. Right? So you need to understand it. And if it happened, then what your strategy, what your exit, what your option A, B, or C. So if you know that the mortgage, because they give you the mortgage statement, you know how much they pay, which is PI, right? Principal and interest, and the tax and insurance. So they call PITI, that how much you pay per month for that property. And if the PITI is less than the market range, and if you take over, so be it. You have some cash flow. Congratulations. I hope it's answered your question, Victoria. Okay. Yep. I am at the end of my presentation. So now, Sophia, back to you, and we can open for question. And if everyone can turn on and see your face, probably better.
Yeah, we have 30 something people here. We have a lot of people.
Hey, Shasha.
It's a lot of people interested in this topic. So can you go? Should we go around and introduce ourselves quickly and say why we interested in this topic and where we join? Again, some of you might not know me. My name is Sophie, and I'm organizing this event every Monday. I usually have different speakers talk about different topics, and this is for a Facebook group that I'm running called Easy Real Estate. I'll put a link if anyone want to join, and we have this every Monday about different topics, and Nico is my mentor in note investing. And if you can see, like, you can be a second lien on some property and earning 16% to 18% now, which is like mind blowing, because before it's like 12 to maybe 14. And now the interest rate go up, which means it's really good to do private lending. It's a good time to be a lender. And I think some of you here have done that and have some experience with private lending, or have experience of borrowing. I myself have experience doing both. I lend my money out in my IRA, self-directed IRA, but I also borrow money to do my flip, to do, like acquiring sub-2 properties and stuff. So a lot of people here, I think everyone should here to discuss and learn. And you can always ask Nico any question that you're curious about, or if you want to do some private lending, contact Nico. He's always having deals that you can lend on. Or if you want to borrow money, contact him as well, because he has a network of private lenders who can fund your deals.
Thanks, Sophia, for doing this. And like I said, I mentioned before, no one know everything. Okay, we here as a group, we share and learn together. So, like Sophia said, I am been doing, I buy note for the last 13 years. So I got more experience on the other side. So now I got a license as a realtor to cover this side. So I call myself transactional engineering, because I can put deal together. You have to do it right, okay? Because the problem is when you don't have the proper document to foreclose, and you cannot, okay? So make sure that you have the people know how to do it, or you can ask your escrow title can do it for you. The property will charge you a fee, but again, the borrower pay for it, okay? Don't be shy. Or like, so you can contact me. I have people, I lend out all my money. And now people, asking me so I can broker the deal. And if you want, I can tag along and show you step process how to do it. Okay. And later on, you can do it yourself the right way. That makes sense?
Yeah, I was seeing this number. It's like 16%. Dang, it's really good. you know. If you put the money into the bank, some people buying like I don't know, treasury note or whatever, it's 5.5%. It's secure, but this is also pretty secure if you know what you're doing, right, Nico?
Yeah, because you secure by the real property. Okay, so if you do the math correctly, like for the first lien, about the no-brainer, they put out 30%, you lend 70%. The bank only, if you put out 20, the bank give you 80. All right, so now you get 30% down. And from my experience, most people don't run. If there is an equity in the house, they will borrow money and pay you. All right, so again, you need to do this, and you have to use escrow and title to close the loan. Okay, don't, because the Vietnamese, we got second, and we right now I helping about 6 individual in Orange County. They lending the money, and some of them don't have paperwork, and some didn't have recorded. And I got joking in America, I call myself like debt collector, but not like traditional debt collector in Vietnam. You go to, you bring, weapon to go to the borrower and try to kick their ass or something. No, we don't do that here. Here we have to use a legal way. Okay, we have proper document, or else you can't afford foreclose on them, because as a business you don't want to lose your money. Okay, that's the last thing you want to do, right? So everyone, I know private money lender for me it's just a short term, because right now I'd like everyone else to look at the real estate market right now. The interest is high, the price not going down. So I still, in the meantime, the money sitting in the bank didn't do any good. So I landed short term. I usually land into a flipper, the 3 to 6 months, and make money and turn around and wait, right? So that's the thing. Money is need to change hands. You can make money, okay, in the short time. Wait until this guy like went off, so I leverage my money. Okay.
I think Tuấn have some question. Do you wanna?
Okay, Tuấn, go ahead, Tuấn.
Hi Nico.
Hi.
Thank you. Em hỏi anh question, nếu mình làm vậy á, mình có cần phải inspect cái nhà không?
Nếu mà anh có một người thường anh không, sorry, I can hopefully I can speak in Vietnamese. Thì thường á, mình có thể kêu cái người mượn tiền á, chụp hình, chụp cái tấm hình, có cái address, rồi chụp hình trong nhà tắm, nhà bếp, coi nhà như thế nào. Thì cái này đó, hai bên có thể nói chuyện được với nhau. Maybe I switch to English. So the Tuấn asking about can we inspect the property? Yes, it's up to you as the lender. You can ask them to take a picture, the front with the address, and make sure that's the same house, right? And take the picture inside the living room, the bathroom, the kitchen, the backyard, and send to you, right? Sometimes it's too far away. Like I have one, I live in Southern California, in San Diego, and the lender in San Jose. I'm gonna fly up there, right? So again, and make sure that they send a picture. You can do whatever you want. It's just negotiate between the two parties. Okay.
So should we ask them to do the appraisal?
You can ask them for whatever the heck you want. But see, the more you asking, the more thing they will turn around and use the other private money lender. I have borrow, like, hey, I want the poor FICO score, I want the appraisal, because appraisal cost them about $500. Okay, and they have another private money lender. Hey, I don't require that. Okay, they go with that one. Right, it's up to you. If you feel comfortable, then ask for it. And if they don't, then next. Okay, but normally that I lend the money to like Orange County, so I can drive up there for an hour, 15 minutes. I can check the house. Oh, the house still there. Okay, look pretty good, right? Then
sometimes they make the house too much.
Yes,
more than 20%.
Yeah, and normally that because I hear you, don't. But again, you can ask for whatever it is. Okay, then okay, Nguyen. Hopefully I answered your question.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Nguyen. You can unmute and speak. Nguyễn Đào. Unmute. Rồi. Ok, trong thời gian chờ đợi. Ok, Sophia, you have any more question? Oh, hey,
Yeah,
bye.
I think Ngân is unmute. Not sure why she.
V, unmute yourself.
Yeah, can I ask you a question? I want to know, is it possible if you can show us like all the steps of how we can get it done, how to record it to get, you know, get everything right? That's the scariest part. I want to make sure we do the right thing.
The
Not the
easiest way,
cheap way that we don't record. We won't be able
the
to.
easy way, V, so I get it, but the easy way is, are you a landing side or you are a borrow side?
Landing
Okay, where you at? What state you
and
in?
Georgia and Florida.
Oh, Georgia. Okay, so it's very simple in some way. So let's try. I try to explain. Let me go down a little bit. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so basically this is that process is a little bit more than this. But when you bought a house, you are borrower. Okay, the lender, the bank is a lender. When you're lending the money, and the two documents that you sign, the promissory note and deed of trust. Okay, so you use the the escrow and title to recording it, and they actually they can draft the promissory note and deed of trust for you. Okay, as a fee, which is the borrower pay for it. And when you're funding it, you wire the money to the escrow title. Okay, the escrow title is third party. Okay, so the borrower, okay, where your document did you sign? Okay, the lender, which is you send the fund and you send the escrow instruction only fund the money when the promissory note and deed of trust signed and recorded. Right, that makes sense. Exactly the same way when you buy the house. Yeah, a little more detail on that, but I can go for a couple of hours, walk you through a step by step, but unfortunately we don't have it. So what I suggested, you connect to me. I have right now, I try to have the database for each of the state, for the borrower and the lender. Then I can get together and can walk you through it, because you have to do one and can walk you through the process. Well, literally that holding your hand from A to Z. So make sure you feel comfortable with it, because later on you can do it yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Because right now we have an hour, so you know, but the process is the same, but leverage the escrow and title, because you got paid to do this. Okay. But again, just be cautious, not every escrow and title is equal. Okay.
Yeah, not doing the right thing.
I have a lot of experience. Sometimes it's scary. Just to put it that way. Okay.
Come on.
Okay. Hi V. Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, Nico. I just want to ask you, so is regarding licensing in California, do we need to get the debt collections or any like MLS lender for lending the money for homeowner instead of investor?
Oh, yeah, that's a little bit. Right now, I think that if you, for California, if you do less than 5 loans a year, you should be okay. You don't need a licensing. Now, the debt collector, a little bit different. That's what you're asking, right? The debt collector?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a total difference.
Because I know that it's like the I know the other peer note investors, they buying note right now, they have to get the license for debt collectors in California. So we have the topic talk about it. So that's something that I'm curious that from the private lending, I believe that, and it's also like you lend the money from your personal name or the company name.
I usually do it for my entity name, because don't do it under your name. Okay, it's just legal or asset protection issue. Yeah, you're right. When you see, the thing is, when you're lending the money, and if you do it correctly, usually that you don't have to, to have the debt collector's license. Because California right now, if you do more than, right now, if I buy note right now, I need to have that. Okay, because I think they just changed it about 2 years ago.
Yes. I think that is applied, 2 years ago, 2021. Yeah.
I know it again be tougher, just like short-term rental, right? Right now, Fountain Valley just banned it 6 months ago. So you wake up and they ban short-term rental, your business is out window. Yeah, so follow the law, okay? Because if you do this 1 or 2, you can fly under the radar. Now, if you do this like more than 5 private money lender per year, you might need to have a license as a debt collector, or you can hire a servicer. Okay, so the servicer meaning that, let's say you borrow the money from B of A, like Bank of America. Sometimes the Bank of America don't service your mortgage. They hire the third party called servicers. Okay, so basically you can hire a servicer, and the servicer have the debt collector license. Just like I hiring the people in Western State, and they have the debt collector services so license stuff. So I go under the umbrella, and they acting on my behalf. They might charge you like $50 a month per loan, but hey, that is the cost of business. So that's the route you might want to go, and or you can get a debt collector's license to yourself. But just ask you a question: how many is that worth it? Your time and effort, or just hire a servicer do it for you? Okay, they have different route. Pretty good.
I have and I have a follow-up question is, if you use your IRA account, so normally did you fund, like create an LLC and the interest owned by your IRA before you lending out?
Okay, so the IRA, you need to talk about self-directed IRA, right? Because traditional IRA, they don't.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so there are 2 things. You can they call it checkbook LLC. So basically, that you create an LLC at front end, all right? And that's subject to we can go out of the rim here a little bit. I do self-directed IRA too. So basically, that you have to talk to your custodian and create an LLC. Now, you cannot go to GoDaddy or online and create LLC, won't work. Okay, they have a special verbiage in the LLC that linked to your back end, which is your self-directed IRA. The reason why, so now you transfer the money from your self-directed IRA to your checkbook LLC, you open checking account, right? So from now on, you can write a check. Now, remember, the money, let's say that if you're funding, let's say you landed $100,000 from your IRA, so you write check for $100,000. The money monthly you're coming back is go back to your self-directed IRA. Okay, you cannot touch it. Okay, now if you funding 50% of that $100,000 from your IRA and your friends funding the other, so 50% out, 50% come back in to your same self-directed IRA. Okay, don't mingle that, because that you will in trouble. Because self-directed IRA is you self-manage it. Okay, you the one versus like you have IRA and you have a fund manager that manages for you. Now self-directed meaning that you really need to know what the heck you're doing. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Any other question, V?
Thank you, Anna.
Okay. Hey, Bang, have any question? Long time no see. Unmute and speak. Unmute, Bang.
Long time no see.
Hey, so how Tennessee?
Pretty good. So I have
Good.
one question. So I have an old note that I sold back when we have really low interest rate, like at 2%, and I was selling it at
Ooh.
5%. Now I have
Okay.
that other 10 years. What should I do with that if I want to cash out?
Well, when you can sell the note, but normally that people talk about maybe the yield at least 8%. So you have discount the note and cash out. Okay. Well, sorry, back then, right now you look at ouch. So that's the thing. When I create a note, the maximum I do about 3 years and have a balloon payment and the option to renew the note. Okay, that makes sense. Because right now you do a 10-year. Well, right now open interest about 6% and you landed out 4%. Ouch, that hurt. So do about three years and the balloon payment at the end and with the option to renegotiate the interest. That makes sense. So always put in. So you have to have the bill in, or else unfortunately let the interest go up so high. Now you stuck. Sorry to hear that. Hey, Victoria, unmute. I know, I hear you. Is any other question, Bang?
No.
If not, we go to Victoria. Hi, Victoria, you can unmute and talk.
Hi, Nico. Nice to finally meet you here. Anyway, I am very impressed by all your accomplishment and, very grateful for what you have shared with us so far. It looks like you're doing a lot of things. You're a short-term investor, long-term investor, real estate investor, you're lending money. I am like a real estate investor myself, and I always ask me a question that, like I have a limited capital and time, which method or which strategy should I go in order to maximize my time and my capital, right? So obviously today when I joined the meeting, or this meeting, I would love to learn more about this and compare with real estate investment and see how it goes, right? So based on your own experience, trying different things, I want to ask you, what is your favorite, like real estate investment or lending money? And what is most profitable? Maybe that is too personal. I don't know if you want to share.
No. Yeah,
and I don't know if they are
say.
necessarily the same thing, but I would love to hear your thought.
Okay, my favorite investment is note. Oh, okay. And I specialize in second non-performing note. Okay, that is the bread and butter. That's what I do. Okay, that's what I listed first. Sorry, I click. Okay, so for example, why is non-performing note? Okay, so let's say that when you buy a property, right, you have a first mortgage, correct? After 5 years, you have some equity, and you took out the HELOC, home equity line of credit, right, for $50,000, let's say. So when the economy downturn, just like right now, right, and people losing their job, they hardly pay the first mortgage, okay, leave alone the second. And so what bank does on the second mortgage of non-performance, they sell off because the bad debt is not good for bank or lender. Okay, let's say $100,000 second lien, they sell it for $5,000. They call it 5 cents on the dollar. Okay, but they write off the $100,000. So don't cry for the bank. They still make money. Okay, but they want to get rid of that. And don't ask me, hey, let's go buy the 5,000 note for the face value 100. No, you cannot buy it because the big institution, they buy between $20 to $100 million. Okay, so they have a tape, let's say 10,000 note, they pick about 2,000 and sell off the other 8,000. So about 10 years ago or 8 years, depend on hedge fund I go with, I either third or fourth. Let's say they bought a 5 cents, they sell back to 10 cents, I bought it for 20 cents. So basically I bought $100,000 note for $20,000. Now the note or the mortgage is a little bit different. Like let's say they haven't paid for the last 3 years. So basically the late fee and late payment add up to, let's say another $50,000. So technically or legally, I can collect $150,000 on $20,000 investment. So let's say Victoria, you owe me $100,000. Okay, let's say for the next 30 days, if you come up with $60,000 cash, I write out the whole thing. Remember, you borrow 100K in the beginning. Now I offer you $60,000 cash. Now remember how much I pay for it, $20,000. So I will double or triple my money. If not, okay, lights up. Let's create a workout. You want to do a monthly payment, but you have to have a real estate. The real estate about $20,000. So usually that's how it works. So if I get it right, I get my money back already. And now I become the lender for the next. I have note for from 5 years, 10 years, I got note for 30 years. So they call it the mailbox money. And that's how I love note. And that's how I learned a lot, because as a note investor, you be a buyer and seller. And also you got a lawyer without a license, because you need to understand the bankruptcy and the foreclosure, right? So that's a reason why I know a lot of documentation, read up. But don't get me wrong, 10 years ago, you Google the second lien ain't showing up. There's no ChatGPT at that time, okay? Everything I learned, it was one subject about 6 months. And don't get me wrong, I very admire you as the young people, and we have a Facebook group here that learned and share. Because when I do this, one subject, it takes me 6 months. But again, that stick to my head to like, it's there, it's titled forever. So from now, I don't say everyone know everything, but we all share and learn. Okay. So don't be shy, and then we admire young people. I don't know most people here. I know Sophia, because we have the same mindset for a year now. So thank you guys, for taking your time off during Labor Day, enjoying us, right? So don't be shy. I share what I learned from my experience to the group, and people like Vietnamese people have one thing that, how can I say it in English? Like ghét nhau, right? So if you better than them, they don't like you. If they make money, then they hate you more. It is what it is, guy. But I'm not trying to change the culture, change people, but we're here to learn. Okay, share, right? It's a beautiful thing. Everyone can make money, right? If you know how really to learn. Then I go to seminar, I flew to Houston, talk with Nico, and I still learning. Even I got 13 years of experience. So there's no shortcut in life, right? Okay. If there one, just tell me, because I haven't found one yet, right? But together we share, because nobody know everything, right? So, but because I do this, so I have a lot of experience. I learned a lot. Okay. Hopefully, I answered your question. And okay, should go back your funding. Okay, right now, if you can borrow the money, great, leverage it, right? Because let's say you borrow right now 6%, but if you know how to turn around and lend it for 16%, yeah, the spread about 10 point, right? And for prime money lending, if you can start with $20,000 or $50,000, okay? Because there's no one size fits all. Because right now, depend on what your knowledge is. Right now, I use my knowledge to broker the deal. I take 1 or 2%, right? Let $100,000 and make one point, make $1,000. Okay, so either you have money and let the money work for you, or you can use your knowledge. That's why I call myself transactional engineering, because I know how to put deal together legally and correctly. So later on, if something going south, well, for this case, if you're lending money, you can foreclose on them and force them to the table, either pay you in full or they losing their house. Okay, but that is their choice. But don't think that you want to be a private money lender because you go after their house. No, that's a wrong mentality, guy. Okay, but we have to protect ourselves, but not coming in, hey, oh, well, if they don't pay, we go after them. Yes, but not an intention that you lending money, so hopefully you can go after their house. That's a wrong mentality. Okay, Victoria, I hope I answered your question. If not, let me know.
So, Nico, we have a lot of questions in the chat that I'm gonna read to you.
Yeah.
Nguyen Dao asked, is interest rate has a limit due to the state law?
Yes, if the state, they call the usury law. So California, you cannot lend as a prime mortgage lender, you cannot charge more than 10%. But there are the way around that. So if a commercial, then you can ask the designer paperwork that, hey, you don't using this for your residential, but this for your commercial thing, that you can get around that. Okay. So yeah, know your usury law for your state. I think Texas is about 10% too. Okay.
Yep.
And there might be a risk for that. But so people but if you want to cover CYA, yeah, just ask them to decide one page. Okay. So unless you have something to cover yourself. Okay. Next.
Vincent asked, what should we watch for if we are the borrower?
Well, if you are a borrower, so what do you watch out? So basically that overdue the escrow, because for some instance, like if you buy the house and you depend on the private money lender to lend to you, and if not, you may losing your deposits. So make sure that the lender is trustworthy and they walk and talk the talk. Because if you do all cash or you need that money as a part of your down payment, then tell them upfront. Because this week, last week, I have a lender from San Jose. She bought the property for $1.8 million, and she asked for $250,000, and she said she closed in 2 weeks. So I am thinking that she paid all cash, but she neglected to tell me, I forgot to ask her one way or the other. Oh no, the $300,000 is part of her down payment. Now, by the way, and this come from somebody come from the gift certificate. So meaning that, so I said, yay, why don't you tell me up front with the information, because it takes time, because as a lender, we cannot do a gift because we're liable for it. So now we have to open and see collateral to her property, the rental. But the lender right now very, very clever, because she happened to apply for a construction loan. So the construction company pull her credit and show up on her credit score. So the lender, wait a minute, are you doing some kind of because she's using her rental income as part of her income, right? So now, and if she leverage her rental and do the second lien on that, we cannot record it, because if we record it and the lender for the new property that she go to buy, pulling the record, then will show up and blow up everything up. So now she asking us delay the recording for a week. And why refunding? So, well, hey, I do that, but I only do it for people I know, because they are at risk. Because if they set you up, they selling the rental, the collateral property, right? And so, hey, a week later you record it, they can sell you behind your back, because you have not recorded your second lien yet, right? So she asked a little bit too much. And no lender will do that. So right now her closing on the 15th. So we might wait and funding the second lien of $300,000 on the 13th or something and record it. Okay, at that time, because when the recording office work for the government don't have the online. So even they pull the you pull the title, it might not show up. Trust me, I have the paid version of pulling the title. Usually when you record it, it takes about a week or two to show up. But again, it might show up. So be careful, right? So hopefully I answered your question. Okay, do we have anything else?
Another one asked, how much is the minimum amount that you can lend?
Well, yeah, I said, if you have $20,000, that might be for starting, because it doesn't make any sense, because with all the fee, $20,000, they end up together about maybe $17,000. But again, somebody need $20,000 for quick. But my rule of thumb is this, because I do minimum of 3 months of interest. Okay, because I got caught last year that I signed a 1-year term, but I didn't put in the limit. So they agreed, the borrower agreed for a 1-year term, but they borrow for 1 month and they return the money, and the investor pissed off, like, hey, I moved $2,000 to get 1 month interest. So from that point, help if you sign 6-month terms, minimum of 3 months interest. If you sign a 1-year term, a minimum of 6-month interest. Okay, put on everything on the promissory note, so everyone clear on that. Okay, because they want the investor move the money from $1 to $1, and they don't want to earn a 1 month of interest, and then what's the time and effort. Okay.
Another question is, what are the sources of funding for private lending?
All the sources, all the people.
So they say where they can get the money to do the private lending.
Well, rob the bank. Excuse me, just kidding. Well, one thing that you can use just like V or something, do a self-direct IRA, because that's where that's how I get to make money to start my real estate investment. Okay, I redirect my IRA to self-direct and use that to leverage, and using that to buy property and this and that. Okay, you can right now, if you have equity, but the HELOC right now pretty high. If you get it, I think about 8 or 9%. So, but again, if you can get using your house as a leverage, because the term is you equity rich but got poor, meaning that you have a ton of equity in your house, but you cannot tap into it, right? So you can wait. But if you're tapping about last year, the HELOC was 4 or 5%, you're golden. And when you do take out the HELOC, something it's no tax. Okay, it's no tax. Yeah, you can leverage that. Or borrow money. I don't know. Ask friends and family to start.
Save up.
Yep. If you have a stock, to like buy VinFast high and sell it low. Just kidding. Don't touch it unless you're a day trade. Okay.
Yeah. So some questions are repeating. I think Brian also asked, how much do I have to be a lender? And you say minimum like $20,000, right?
Yeah, 20. My minimum is $20,000. But if you can find someone that need $10,000, but again, always collaterate by the real property. Okay. Some people want to collaterate by their car. No, don't do that. Okay, because don't do that. Only collaterate by real property. Okay, and you may follow 50% if you second lien, 50% of the equity. Okay. Yeah. Don't go around that. Okay, but if you go around that, chances are you might in trouble.
And Bijou Tran asked, does private lender need any license to lend money, or can lender loan money to different state other than their home state?
You don't need a license unless you, like in California, you do more than 5 years. Then you can fly in the radar, and if you do more as your only job, yes, I suggest that you get a license. Okay, because as an MLO, mortgage loan originator, then you can get around because somebody asking that what is the maximum usually law is that if you have a broker real estate broker license and broker the deal, then you can charge 100%. You don't go to jail for that. Okay. If you use an MLO, mortgage loan originator, just the same thing, then you can charge what the heck you want, legal. But the funny thing is, in America, the bank, like the credit union, they exempt from the use law, so they can charge you whatever the heck they want. They must have pretty good lobbyists. Huh? Okay, what else? Who else? Sophia. Then do said, where can I find people who want to borrow Harmony Lender?
Yeah.
Facebook group. Or let me know that where you at and how much you lending. Then I can broker the deal for you. I can tell you, like if you're in Texas, you know, Sophia's over there in
Yeah.
Yeah, they can hook you up.
Yeah, we also have a lot of real estate investors in our group that want to lend, want to borrow money. If you know, just let me know or Nico know. You can ask people, hey, you know, anybody want to borrow money? Then, especially in the real estate investor circle, we will know someone for sure.
Yeah, the one thing that if you a lender, as a private money lender, deposit, people will jump on it. You know, people need money, but again, you need to know what you're doing. Okay, the paperwork very important, and do it correctly. Okay.
And Tuấn asked, where can we find notes to buy?
Don't, first of all, that I suggest that you need to know what the heck you're doing first, because I can share you they call paperstack.com. I can post it here. I think let me check. Okay, but again, you need to know how you do your due diligence, because right now people are dumping trash. Okay, and if you don't know how to do a due diligence on the note, you'll be in big trouble. Okay, it's not simple. I told you that, hey, you can do 200-300% return on investment, but from the experience. Okay, so as a newbie, if you don't know it, don't touch it. You need to learn first. Okay, and one website, I think paperstack.com. I have to type it and make sure that I put it. I can share it with the group. So we go ahead, take the next question. Paperstack.com.
Paperstack.com is great. I think I go on there and I go around, and also there's a few note mastermind or people that like sending you list of note that they get from the bank and stuff like that. Once you get into note investing, you should educate yourself first, like really learn what it means on a second lien, how to foreclose, how to do due diligence on a note. Then you know, you just like you buy just like when you trade stock, you buy it, pretend that you buy it. So you play a scenario. If I buy this note, how can I make money? And then you can take some case from PaperStack and discuss that and ask Nico about it. And once you feel confident, you can go and buy one and really learn from your experience.
Okay, yeah, I found it, so I can post it on the chat. But again, just look. Okay, so I'm not. I don't have time. But if you're really interesting, hey, and Nico, can you overlook this note for me? I'm glad I will spend some time to look for it. Okay. But again, you need to, just like Sophia mentioned, you need to know how to do due diligence. Okay, very important. You make money on the buy. You remember, make money on the buy, because your buy is wrong, you lose your shirt off. I just post the paperstack.com. So to go in there and look around, and you can filter based on first mortgage or second mortgage. Okay, to look around, see how much they're asking, and ask the seller a lot of questions. It's no dumb question. Okay, just keep asking them, because they want to sell it. They will provide the information to you. Okay.
Brian asked, if I am a borrower, where do I go to get the loan? You go to Nico, right?
Well, yeah, you know, you can talk to me, and depend where you at. Like I mentioned before, I can broker the deal, depend where you're at and how much money you need to borrow for what, buy a new house and things like that. Yeah, I can help you on that one.
And Biju asked another question. What's the lowest interest rate private lender the buyer can get right now for 1 year balloon?
Well, like I mentioned that depend, hold it, let me go back to there. Okay, so I know you see that I post back in, so depend on the first lien or second lien. So the first lien right now is the rate about 10 to 12%. Okay, the second lien about 16 to 18%, right? And I upload this presentation as a PDF into the chat. You can download it. Okay.
Yeah, and Bang asked, say that most title company, they know a lot of private lender.
Yeah.
Ask them.
They better. So yeah, just read out like your realtor, maybe a good source, or your escrow and title. Yeah, you talk to them. They know. Oh, it's in the group. Okay, so nhà cơm Mỹ, câu lạc bộ đầu tư something. If you have something, you use your social media, use your phone. Just ask a question, and chances are I will answer it. But some other people might answer it too. So we always sharing and learning.
Yeah, right now, cash is king, right? So asset is on sale. So the people who do actively acquiring asset, they really need money. And because of that, like if your money is sitting there doing nothing, you should lend them. And then you also get a lot of interest compared to last year. And also if you do the right way, like Nico say, always know what you're doing. When you get in something, you know the way in, but the most important thing is you know the way out, right, Nico?
Yep, you need to know how to get in, and that's right, how to get out. So if you don't know how to get out, then don't get in. So just like I mentioned that, as the prime money lender, you need to know how to get out, meaning that what your exit strategy if the borrower don't pay. If the borrower don't pay, then you need to know how to foreclose on them. If you don't know, you can contact me, but I only do in California because I don't have time to do for other state. But I can point you to people can foreclose on your state. Okay, that's not an issue. But the issue is you need to do it correctly with your paperwork, or else no attorney will touch it because they're afraid to get counter sue back. Okay, trust me. I get one case that they sue with us, but because we have proper paper, because I know how to do it correctly. So at the end, we won the case, but it cost the lender another $20,000 just because attorney don't work for free, guys. Okay, so first thing you need to know how to get in and get out, and if something happened, how you go about it. Okay, just like you have a tenant. Okay, the tenant don't pay, you have to evict them. You need to know how to do that. But from my experience, cash for key, because in California, you follow eviction, it will take about 6 months, and the tenant don't pay jack, and they sit there, and you probably, and you cannot do anything. So again, to be a landlord is not everyone can be a landlord. Okay, if you don't know how to do that, and don't do it. Okay, invest in something else. If you're good with a stock, and do stock. Okay, so and invest in real estate. There are a lot of things to do. Not necessarily just. And private money lender is just one way you can make money for the time being. Okay.
So far say that if we are new to this, can we invest with Nico and split the profit? So he brokered. So he helped you to put together the deal, and if you are the lender, you make money on the interest, and he make money on the fees, right, Enrico?
Yes. So basically that let's say 10 people asking for borrow money, but usually only 4 or 5 can qualify. So normally when I broke the deal, okay, the borrower come to me, hey, I need to borrow 100K. So okay, can you? It's a second lien, right? So they have to send me their latest mortgage statement. so I can look at their what their unpaid principal balance is. Okay, how much they owned on the first, and I pull a title and make sure that their name and their address, everything there, and also look their fair market value for their property. Okay, and is that the money, let's say 100K, so they have to at least $200,000 in equity. And at that time, I look at my database. Hey, Sophia from Austin, she wanted to land $100,000, and her maximum term is 1 year, and fit this guy. So I could call Sophia. Hey, Sophia, I have borrow A that might matching your lending criteria. I can take a look, and I send her profile. I send her the title. I pull, the mortgage statement from the collateralized property for her to see, and she agree. Then I do a paperwork, right? Then we go to the escrow and title to open the escrow title account, and go from there, right?
Yeah, I'm in Texas.
Sorry, I don't split the profit. I take the percentage, like I take 1 or 2 points from the borrow, okay? And I don't split the profit like the interest with you. You keep the interest.
Yeah. So I just want to add that and Nico do it in California, and I did private lending and borrowing money in Texas. So if you need a law firm title company that's familiar with this, I can recommend my title company. Plus, they have a law office, and they're very familiar with these transactions. So they will do the proper paperwork for you, and file with the county, and cloud the title, so you can land and be safe. And also, I also know how to do self-directed IRA, and land it using my own self-directed IRA and those practice. So any question or anything that you need to know, you can ask me as well. So Vincent asked another question. What is the good route to set up self-directed IRA for real estate purpose, and how long does it take?
I can answer you, Vince. It's all depend on what state you're in. So the self-direct IRA is normally that if you work and you quit your job, you can roll over your IRA for your solo 401k to another license, to like what they call it, the license custodian. Okay, for self-direct IA a little bit special. Okay, so depend, license to tax me, depend if you're in Texas, there is some company do a self-direct IA in Texas. Okay, in California, just shoot me a link. I can send you the one that I'm using. And by the way, I don't have any kickback. Okay, just based on my experience, I will tell you. When you touching the self-direct IA, okay, the custodian, they make money on the thing. So for example, if you said you just went off as the private money lender, to be aware that they will charge you for every month, the interest coming in, they will charge you $10, $15. Okay, when you write a check out, that's how they make money. And usually they charge you an annual fee about about $275 last time I checked, or $300. Okay, so it's very. Oh, Vincent, you're in Texas. There, I know I have one. I can send you. Just text me, Nico Nguyen. I can send to you. But basically, that you have to watch out for the fee. Okay. The good company I'm using right now. So we can detect. I have to. I could do direct IRA, but I want you direct you to the pay that you can look up. They have the fee and everything. They're pretty good. So self-direct IA, that's another thing. And the rich people already know this. I do have a book about self-direct IA handbook. So if anyone want the copy, to borrow it, just send me a text message. I can send to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Carrie.
Yeah, I did with a company called Sense Financial. but there's, you know, they all over these self-directed IA company, and it's called, I think, Trust or something like.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they're a whole bunch, but okay.
Yeah, Quest Trust. Yeah, Quest Trust in Texas.
They
very
in Texas
popular.
too, right?
Yeah, they in Texas are very popular. And they also educate you on what to invest. And they have seminar and stuff on their website that you can attend. And that's where, like, you know, you can find the private borrower that you can lend money to. Also, there's different type of investment that you can invest in with your self-directed IA. I also know a website where this company also kind of broker the mortgage. So flippers will go there, borrow the money. So you can like, it's an investment company where they let you buy investment or rental property, but also they let you invest in mortgage. So they have borrower that flipping houses in different market. I know they're in Florida, Oklahoma, Texas, San Antonio, or like even Tennessee. So they or even Ohio, they have different market like that. So my first lending was I lent to one of those flippers in Oklahoma market, because I know Oklahoma market. So if something wrong happened, I can take over the house, finish the project, and then sell it. So so it was very safe for me. And then I did it several times, and everyone should pay me on time, so I never foreclose on any there. But they should let you land on the first lien, not the second lien, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I can send that to you if you want.
Yeah, Hung put some like 3 different self-direct IRA. Yeah, U-Direct IRA is in California, which is the one I'm using. They're not the best, but there are no best out there. Okay, we just use what they have. Okay, and I have using them for over 10 years now. And again, I'm using that as a leverage. Okay, that's where I got my money, and to start my my real estate investment career. And you can open the self-direct IA, and you can funding that self-direct IA every year. Okay, and if you can do Roth IRA, even better, because it's tax free at the end. So the self-direct IA been around for over 40 years. I just happened to know it about a little bit over 10 years now. So the rich people, they know all the game, all the trick in the book, right? So now we're just learning the rich people in America doing. Okay. So.
And Nico, she say that, can we have another session where Nico go over recent deals and how he structure and execute it?
Oh,
so people love this topic.
Private money lender. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You'll be shocking how easy it is, because if you bought a property before, like I said, you'll know about 50%, just a matter of flipping the position from the borrower to a lender. Everything the same. Oh, Maestro Redrick. Oh, I know this company too.
You know this company, they are in California too. So the self-directed IA company show me how to use them to roll my money, and I was like, oh my God, I can lend money for 12%. Awesome. And I did it. Yeah.
Good. Right now that one, the company ignitefunding.com. So they just private money lender / housing lender, but they put a fund and they lend it to commercial builder. Okay, so they give 10 to 11%.
I forgot that too. Like I know, like in syndication world, right? Some people raise fund for the down payment, but they also borrow. So they also borrow, but they can collaterate with their personal property or their personal guarantee, and they pay like, I don't know, 14%, and then in a year balloon or something like that. So there's a lot of place that you can lend your money to. It's not just go by house.
Again, you need to do some kind of due diligence on the company, okay? So because your hard-earned money, you better double check on it, right? So trust but verify, people. Okay, right now it's 6:55. Is anyone have a question?
We went. There's a lot of people. Thanh Lam have question.
Okay, Thanh, you can unmute and speak. Hi, Thanh. Oh, he went away.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
Can you see
okay.
me now?
Hi, Thanh. Yes.
Hai anh Nico với chị Sophia.
Hi,
Giờ mới gặp được mặt em nè. Trên Facebook lang thang nhưng mà giờ mới gặp mặt anh.
Bởi vậy phải nhìn mặt mới biết được chứ không nhớ đâu. Ok, Thanh có câu hỏi gì?
Dạ, ok, cho em hỏi cái chỗ mà Paper Stack là anh buy với sell cái note từ cái website đó hả anh?
Đúng, mình nhưng mà be careful, cái đó là people like dumping trash. những cái note này there's not a lot of good note out there, okay? Bởi vì nhiều khi mình phải biết cách làm due diligence, okay? Thì em có nhìn thấy cái đó thì đó cái một trong những cái website you can sell and buy first lien or second lien, right?
Dạ,
Just play around with it.
Nếu mà giống như mà mới bắt đầu mà start đó, anh có giống như là prefer là work on first lien first hay second lien second hay là can do at the same time?
Okay, cái đó okay, để anh hỏi lại các bạn là what your cái return on investment của em là gì? Tại vì cái first lien very safe, but it's not a lot of meat. Nó không có cái lợi nhuận cao. Nhưng mà very safe. Tại vì nó bán thường nó bán gọi là hồi xưa đó anh mua nó khoảng chừng 70 hay 60%. Thí dụ nhà 100.000 nó bán khoảng 60.000. Thì mình còn cái room để mình quick flip nó, ok, khoảng chừng 10.000 rồi mình bán lại, ok. Bây giờ anh lâu lắm anh không vào cái đó. Thì nếu mà mình thấy cái exit của mình cái nhà này mua để mình cho mướn được, right? You always have to think about your exit, okay, what you want to do with the property when you acquire it, right? Còn cái second lien thì anh là specialize về second lien, anh chỉ mua second lien thôi, chứ anh mua first, okay. Mà tại vì cái second lien first of all là cái entry nó very low, nó không có 60-70% đâu, nó chỉ có 20-30% thôi. Có nghĩa như 100.000 mình cứ bỏ 20-30.000 mua được rồi. Còn cái first lien you have to have $60,000, okay. Rồi cái exit nó tại vì cái exit của cái second lien is more about 4 or 5, okay. Em mua low, okay, so with low you can sell with high, make profit about 20% and do again, right? Rồi cái này là ok, nếu mà người mướn mà không trả tiền, you can do monthly payment, okay, họ trả tiền mình. Thì there are a lot more options for second lien, but also more work. I think about that, okay, and more risk. Bây giờ em phải hiểu cách làm, phải hiểu cách làm due diligence. Thì anh suggest vào cái paper stack, ask to pick on the note, okay, number the why, and ask a lot of questions about seller. Hey, what about this? What about that? And they obligate to send you the information, okay? And don't pull a trigger. Just start try to learning by asking, okay?
Yeah. So nếu mà em qua cái website đó mà em có thấy những cái ok thì em có thể là contact anh, rồi anh có thể là overlook.
Yeah, just shoot me a link, but just respect my time and your time, okay? So they have to do your own homework first, right? So because anh nói thật I do for free, but you know anh không có thể mà teach people from A to Z được. Nobody have time to do that. Bởi vậy những cái gì nếu anh sẽ biết tại vì anh làm được lâu, anh sẽ hỏi em đã làm cái này kia, nếu em chưa làm rồi anh can stop right here. You have to do your own due diligence first. Then I can tap in. Okay, anh Nico cái này nó như thế nào thì anh sẽ giải thích cho. Chứ anh nói Nico em không biết pull cái com như thế nào, nhờ look up cái Google này thì chịu thôi, you know? Thì những cái này, cái note này nó có cho cái address này, em phải look it up. Ok, cái ARV nó là gì, vậy với cái after repair value hay là cái market price như thế nào, thì em phải làm những cái due diligence đó. Ok, thì mấy cái question, em nghĩ cái này nó ok, thì anh sẽ hỏi em ok tại sao em nghĩ nó ok, thì em phải có câu trả lời. Chứ nó em ok thì vì nó ok thì thôi chịu rồi. Ok không phải là ok, đúng không? Thì em phải mua cái lý do gì, thì sau đó cái này cũng có lý, hay là no, you wrong, đây thì anh experience anh như thế này đó, thì cái đó rồi interactively thì em mới học được. Chứ nếu mà anh làm hết homework thì xong hàng rồi, đó em đâu có học được gì đâu. Đấy thì phải như vậy, thì mình phải học thì nó mới thấm được đó. Cái repeat cái đó thôi, tại vì cái step nếu mà muốn á, anh có những cái step để làm về cái link này để anh kiếm lại coi, không có thì anh share nó. Cái này we can go off the topic a little bit. Ok, anyway, thì đó, nếu muốn thì cứ vào đó đi. Ok, everyone just look into that, and có gì thì nhắn anh qua cái Facebook, cái Messenger. Ok.
So khi mà buy mà second note đó anh, tại vì yeah, can you hear me?
Dạ, bây giờ nghe rồi.
Ok, giống như là mình buy second note đúng không? Mà mình chưa có cái create cái company của mình á, mình có cần create company trước khi buy second lien, hay là mình không có cần buy và create cái company?
Không cần, cái đó có, nhưng mà depend. Nếu mà em đừng ở Cali, tại ở Cali này nó mở một cái entity nó cost about $800 every year. Okay, cái LLC đó. Actually first year free, nhưng mà nếu mà ở Texas này nọ biết cái bên đó bao nhiêu thì có rẻ hơn, Arizona có rẻ hơn, thì chỉ thằng Cali này nó chạc $800. Ok, thì em mua cái nốt đầu tiên em tên của mình cũng không sao hết. Right? Later on nếu mà em invest nhiều nữa thì nên có thể mở cái LLC. Tại vì làm business á, bây giờ mình nói chuyện qua cái asset protection rồi. Ok, thì cái này nhiều khi mình không lỡ mà bị thua thì mình muốn separate cái private asset với cái business asset của mình, đúng không? Thì mình phải bỏ vào một cái entity. Lỡ mình bị thua thì nếu mình thua thì nó chỉ lấy được những cái gì trong cái entity đó thôi, chứ nó không có trang qua cái lấy cái nhà của mình được, đúng không? Thì cái này là một cái là asset protection, that's another seminar.
Okay, thank you anh.
Rồi, Hân có nói về cái performing note với non-performing note. Dạ, Hân thì chắc cũng invest in note gì đó, mà biết mấy này, discount price risk. Come to learn by yourself first. Yeah, exactly. Okay, biết cái performing note hay non-performing note là gì. Okay, cái discount price thì cái Google hay dùng cái chat GPT đó. Oh, yeah, I show you một cái này rất là hay. Đi Việt Nam giờ phải biết cái này, poe.com. Cái này nó tổng hợp những cái chat GPT lại đó, dùng cái này pretty good. Có tiếng Việt luôn, đánh tiếng Việt vô trả lời tiếng Việt cho mình, pretty cool ha. Ok, còn ai có câu hỏi gì không?
I think that's pretty much all the question for now. Anyone have any other question? Last call. I think we run over the time and everyone. Oh, POE. That's great.
Sophie biết cái website nữa.
Em không biết. I don't know.
Cái này nó biết
that's
nó hỏi
nice.
cái việc đó nó.
That's awesome. I should teach to my mom this.
Nói cho anh biết, nó pretty cool. Nó nói tiếng Việt. Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay, so awesome. Going once.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Nico, for answering all the questions and presenting us such an awesome method to make money, to build wealth. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Sophia, for hosting this. Okay, thanks everyone. So again, nobody know everything. Okay, we as a group we learn and share our experience. Okay, sharing is caring. Right. All right. Have a wonderful Labor Day, guys. So hopefully I can see you guys later. Okay.
Labor Day, everyone.
Okay, Sophia, make sure you stop the recording. Okay.
Yeah, and I hope to see you in the next meeting.
Okay. Yeah, to everyone, if you have a topic and if
Okay.
I know, I can share I can talk about it, share my experience.
Yeah,
Okay?
maybe we can do note, one specialized in note investing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very tough because no, you need to know a lot of things. Okay.
Yeah.
But I know it's scary you. Yeah, I can walk you through the basic, and it's up to you guys to take and run it. But it's very interesting, and it's my favorite investment by far. Unless you guys can figure out someone over here. Okay, tell me what is your best investment strategy is, and I will listen. All right.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
bye
Thank you,
for now.
everyone.
Thank you much.
For now.
Well, have a good night,
Happy
everyone.
Labor Days. Bye bye.